What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have the 2025 Land Rover Defender 110. This one in particular is for the 2025 Sedona edition. So we're going to be going over, mainly focusing on this vehicle in particular. We may mention a few things here or there just in general about the 2025 110 Defender. So over 23,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. We do it every week, every single press car. Without further ado, let's get right on into this video and start with the short cinematic. Let's roll. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that cinematic. All right, this Defender 110 Sedona edition is a mild hybrid 3-liter 6-cylinder pushing 395 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Transmission is an 8-speed auto. Drivetrain is all-wheel drive with a twin-speed transfer box. The curb weight is around 5,035 pounds, which is going to be pushing it from 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. Towing can range anywhere from 7,700 to 8,200 pounds. MPG is 18 city, 20 highway with a combined average of 19. Gas tank size, 23.8 gallons. Now, touching on vehicle dimensions, overall length, 16.45 feet. Width is around 6.6 feet, and ground clearance, this one in particular has the air ride suspension, and you're looking at around 8.5 inches to a max of 11.5 inches. Again, it is adjustable on air ride, so that's why it can change. Pricing starts at around $60,800. That, of course, is on the base model. Tester today is roughly $86,725, including the destination charge. While we are here in the rear, pretty rare in today's market. Press this, pull out, and it does have a swing gate. Obviously, again, not too many vehicles have that. The downside to it is obviously it is not power, so you do have to physically open and shut it yourself. So that is up to each individual person. You can see this does have the little shower, if you will. You can spray things off, rinse things off yourself, whatever you want to do. The other thing this one is optioned with, it does have a tire compressor. You can see there, hose is located in there. You can connect and then inflate or deflate any of the 4 tires, which is definitely nice when off-road. Also, your air suspension, you can raise and lower it right here, which is good. And then of course you do have this, you can, cover or whatever. And of course, as always, I will put the cargo here on the screen. Before we jump on into the interior, just want to point out a few small things that you may or may not notice. This one has what is called the cold pack. With that, these little nozzles will literally spray and wash your headlights to keep them, and they are heated as well, so that way it will stay nice, clean, and clear in whatever conditions you are in. The other thing that it has is it has a heated windshield, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see all those little lines or not. Basically like a grid system that will keep this heated. Also, the power jets for the washer fluid also heated as well. That comes on the cold pack, like I said. Other thing to note, it does have a 360 camera. It is also clear underneath the vehicle that you can see. You can see one of the cameras are located right there. Of course, the other one's on the mirror, the other one's on the back. The other thing on the exterior has keyless entry. You can see it on the front door. It is also located here on the rear door. Now, in case you didn't understand by the Sedona edition, you could probably tell by this color, it looks like Sedona, Arizona. Based off of like the red rock and all that stuff. Definitely kind of a neat thing, especially considering this is such an off-road luxury type vehicle. Before we jump on into the interior, very last point would be the tire size. They are 275/45 22s. All right, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover on the exterior. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, if you're new to my channel, I am 5'9". We test whether it's easy or not to get in. So let's go ahead and step up and in. And with the step bars, very, very easy to get in. Once you are in here, the one thing I definitely notice is just so much headroom. There's even room between my hat, as you can see. I would say a good 4.5, 5 inches up there. And then out in front of us, this is where my seat sits to drive. And you're gonna notice there is, I don't even know what that is, maybe 9 inches of legroom, a lot of legroom. You have heated seats, 2 USB-Cs, you have air vents, and then just taking a look at the door, this is kind of like a, I don't even know, like a soft, clothy type material. It's like rubberized. I don't know if cloth's the right word, but it is kind of soft. This is all soft for your elbow, which is nice. Everything else is kind of like a rubberized type material, which kind of makes sense with this vehicle. Last thing, here in the back, we can pull this down. You've got 2 cup holders and an armrest. All right, let's go ahead and step on into the front. All right, and yeah, very easy. No real complaints there. Easy. And again, it's ride height adjustable, so you can lower or raise the vehicle. So of course you can kind of get it wherever you want. And again, it's around 8.5 to 11.5 inches as far as adjustability goes. Taking a look at the driver's door, you can see it is equipped with Meridian sound system, and it does sound pretty good. 3 settings for your memory seating, and then the door is very similar to the rear. You'll notice out in front of us, there is no heads-up display. That is one thing this does not have. Now, out in front, you have a fully digital instrument cluster, so that looks nice and clean and modern. This does have a lane assistance. It is not lane centering on this vehicle, so it does not have that. It does have adaptive cruise control with stop and go. Heated steering wheel over there on the right. Over on the left, you can change your settings like to high, low, and I think custom as far as like the sensitivity to like the lane assistance and notifications and forward collision assist, all of that stuff. That's basically what it is. This is the volume knob located right here, just a scroll wheel. And then to set your cruise control, one thing that I don't know why, to me, it says set over here, and you press it, doesn't do anything, but if you press up, that's what sets it. If you press down, it does not set it. So again, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm goofy, but that's basically how you set it. You just push up, super easy. And then over to the left, this is for seeking your different tracks. And then obviously phone, and then you can see the little dots in between as far as navigating different menus up there. You can also see auto headlamps and all of your different windshield wiper controls on the right stock. And then as far as driving goes, for the gear selector, there's a little basically like trigger back here, and you basically hold that, we'll put it into reverse all the way up. You can see fully 360 camera, and then you can see this in particular right now is straight behind us, obviously, because I have it in reverse. But if we were to put it in drive, that is out in front of us. And of course, it does show the tracks on the wheels as to where they will be. While we are here, a couple different things. One, if I snake this camera back here, you can see there's storage space all the way behind. And then as far as the screen goes, I don't really have any complaints. It's pretty easy to use. We can select that, get this out of the way. And then of course, again, there's your GPS. Nice, easy, crystal clear, looks nice. They've done a good job here. Auto stop start, I always turn that off. Hill descent control is what I should say. Dual zone climate, heated seats, cooled seats. You just simply press in, go to the right for heat, left for the cool, press it again, back temperature, auto, and then it's your front window heater for defrosting. Now coming on down, got a little storage here. You can press in, more storage, another couple of different chargers down in there. 2 cup holders, wireless phone charger, and there is an option, this one does not have it, but it would be a cool box. Basically your button would be located, I believe, like right back in there somewhere. And you can see this one even still does have a rubber seal, so you could definitely put some cold things in there and it would probably hold for a little while, as long as you put like an ice pack. But again, you can get the actual refrigerated version, if you will, where you have like a refrigerator to keep stuff cool, which is pretty neat. Moving up above, we've got 3 different settings for the mirror, and then we have the sunshade and then also the sunroof. And you can see I do have it open right now. Definitely a nice touch. I think that's just about everything on the interior that I wanted to go through. So without further ado, let's go get it out on the road. Let's roll. As we get this Defender 110 out on the road, first thing that I personally noticed was the throttle response is actually really good. For this size of vehicle, in my opinion, for what this is, again, doesn't need to be crazy fast. Don't expect it to be. I own some pretty quick vehicles myself, if you're not familiar. And again, comparing apples to apples, this thing is actually pretty quick. I mean, a 0 to 60 under 6 seconds. It definitely, in this size vehicle, definitely feels like it's moving. And I knew that right out of the gate without even like fully getting on it. I probably gave it like, I don't know, 60% throttle, somewhere in there. And with 60% throttle, I was like, ooh, this thing's got to have a fairly decent 0 to 60. Sure enough, looked it up. Again, it's about 5.8, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. That was really honestly my very, very first impression. Second impression, I really like the interior. Feels very spacious. There's a lot of room. And also, I saw the air compressor and I was like, wow, that's like perfect for going off-road. What a great idea. And then the storage box on the side of the vehicle, that essentially is for, you know, if you have like wet gear or super muddy gear or whatever, you just throw it in that. Don't have to worry about it getting on your interior. So also a very, very smart design. So this thing at all angles, they've thought about just about everything. Same thing with on the trail. This one in particular is an option with it, but you can have the refrigerator essentially for drinks. You can keep waters cold or whatever while you're out on the trail, which again, they've thought about just about everything. So I think those are my first very 2 impressions on this vehicle, just seeing it and how well it is thought out. As already mentioned, this is all-wheel drive, so we're gonna test it here. We're gonna get on it just a little bit to get out in front of some traffic as soon as it lets up. All right, here we go. Ooh. I mean, like 0 wheel spin pretty much. I mean, that puts you some G-forces. And this is going to sound like a really funny comparison, I know, but back in the day when I owned personally a Kia Stinger GT2, that all-wheel drive system was so good when getting out in front of traffic. And this honestly is better than that. And the Kia Stinger had a faster 0 to 60, completely different cars, completely different everything, other than, again, only comparing all-wheel drive system. And I've driven plenty of other all-wheel drive SUVs, you guys know on the channel, but with some pep, that's pretty impressive getting out like that. I've got 3 categories for sound. We've got tire noise, we have wind noise, and then we also have powertrain noise. We go over cattle guard every single week, so we can test not only the suspension, but also the noise level. So without further ado, we're about to go over it here in just a second. Here we go. Absorbed really, really, really good. I moved just a little bit, which 100% is expected, and it absorbed very quickly. Definitely what I expect for a off-road / more luxury type vehicle. Definitely good suspension. Noise-wise, very good as well, very maintained from that point, which is really more tire noise than anything. Touching on the wind noise side of things, like here comes a vehicle, we'll take a listen, very quiet. You can hear it ever so slightly, but definitely not bad. Better than average for sure. And then as far as powertrain noise goes, hopefully it picked up on the mic. Whenever you're hammering down, like getting out, whatever, you can definitely hear the powertrain. Expected. Don't expect that to be silent, especially in a vehicle like this, and it gives it some character, and I do like it. Past that, I think it's a very, very maintained vehicle. One of the best for an off-road focused vehicle for sure. One thing I would love to see is a true lane centering. Now, maybe they offer it, maybe I didn't see it on the builder, maybe because I don't get a ton of Land Rovers. I only get them, honestly, a couple times a year. So I don't know every single option. I go through the website builder, I try to do all my homework, but it doesn't have the lane centering for what I've found. Now, if I'm wrong, definitely correct me down below, but I would love to see that feature. The lane assistance is okay. Obviously, it keeps you kind of in the lane, but it's not a true lane centering, and that would be a super nice feature to have. Now, as far as stop and go adaptive cruise control, that works really good. No complaints. They've done a nice job there. Take this turn here with the suspension at 20. Definitely has some body roll, expected for this size and weight of vehicle, but honestly, just a hair better than I kind of expected it to do. Now, this road is definitely one of the noisiest in the area where I'm at, and it's also probably one of the more rough roads as far as like texture goes, which is why it's noisier, and it's very maintained. Like, I don't know if it's going to come through the mic. I'll be quiet for just a second. Like, it's very maintained. Like, they've done such a nice job. Now, there is a ton of reviews on Defender 110 off-road. Again, this is more a focus on-road. What is it like to live with it daily, right? Now, super capable off-road. It's a Land Rover, right? But on-road, definitely even better than I expected it to be, and definitely a lot quicker than I expected it to be. And this is not even the fastest in the lineup. You can definitely get some faster variants, so I can only imagine on those. This is definitely no slouch though, especially for the price. You're getting a lot, honestly. Now, is it a cheap vehicle? No, it's not a cheap vehicle, but do I feel like it's a very quality vehicle? Yes. Even whenever you shut the door, it has a nice thud, which sounds really funny, again, if you're not in and out of cars all the time, but it definitely just spells quality. If you're looking for a vehicle that you can really travel with, right, because you can definitely tow something with this without a doubt, like a small camper, with ease, right? You could definitely have one of those behind you, and then this thing, right, you could detach from your camper, and this could basically be like your ATV essentially, as long as you have the money to do so. You could get like clear paint protection film, and I mean, you could just go on all kinds of trails, right? Like, such a blast. And then also, if you're just around town driving, super easy to drive, super comfortable, has pretty much every piece of technology that you would really want in a vehicle. So definitely something to consider. If you want something that can go off-road, right? Like, to me, some of the competitors would be maybe like a Bronco. A Jeep is definitely on the cheaper side of things, but could potentially be cross-shopped, I guess, depending on what you're looking for. If you have the money, this is definitely something that I would look at, just with how nice and luxurious it feels, but also how capable it really truly is, and how they've thought about the entire design of this vehicle to literally go off-road and make it so good for that, right? So, next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. We do it every single press car. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.